So let's start talking about the workbench I'm building. So what you see here is a well board on top. These are my bench tops. These are actually the bottoms of the bench tops. And the well board goes in the middle. And I'm starting to do some measurements right now. What you see here is was a diagram that I made of this workbench. These are the two tops, and then the aprons kind of sit in front of the tops. And then I have the legs with the stretchers that are tenoned into the legs, and that's the setup. So what I'm trying to get right now is I'm trying to prepare the stock for my stretchers in between here. There's one in the bottom and there's one in the middle. And for that I need the total width of my top, and for that I need to fix my apron. So I need to put them between the two tops and measure the total width here, and that will help me get to the width of the stretchers in between. And to do that, I tried to fit it in here, and there's a little bit of a gap. So when I planed this initially, or this was actually not even planed, I can remember, this hollow, slight hollow all the way, so the edges are protruding out. Same thing here. They're also not square to the face here, so I need to work on the edges a little bit so I can fit them between and get my final depth. So two winding sticks here. They came out of the same piece that I cut in half and I kind of planed so the edges matched. So I'm going to place one here and one on the other side. And this is how we check for twist. Just kind of side down, and I don't have a twist. I know I checked the twist before when I was planing the tops, and they're still good. Just check for that. Now that I know that this is good and flat and true, and I'll check for flatness as well. I'm going to mark this as my face edge. I don't know if you can see, but the face edge is marked here with an F sign because you missed the middle, and then it points to the corner, which is going to be your edge. So I'm going to plane this edge. And how am I going to plane it? I'm going to have to clamp it to this tabletop. Let's see how we can. There you go. So the other thing I'm going to do is side down here, and I'm looking down this edge. I'm trying to see if I can tell if there's a hollow or not, and it looks somewhat straight. I can see a belly up here, so I'm going to check for that. What I got there. Alright. And I'm out of square, the outside, out of square, outside, out of square on the outside edge, out of square on the inside edge. Basically my top's a little twisted. Very fine shavings. Cut fairly heavy. I'm just going to press it on this side to get this edge. I don't want to do too much. the other thing is to always remember to register your square to the face edge where you made your marking. Need a little more there. Start. So now there is not fully continuous, but fairly continuous, and this I can see the surface is very pristine. You take your pencil and you mark your edge over there, and I'm going to flip over to the other side and do that. Okay, let's see how we did. Couple more shadings, I'm almost there. That is square. Not quite a full length shaving here. But I've been going across against the grain. Alright. That should be close enough. So take the clamps off. So this is starting to look like a workbench right now. Well board goes here, obviously, and the bench top is here, so when I'm working, I can set my plane down, I have my tools in this area, and I work on this top. Back to the drawing board, I need this dimension here for the shoulders. I'm just going to use a tape measure just to check myself. This is my width is 30 and 5/16. You see that gap there, that imagine that's 5/16, or sorry, 5/8 of an inch, which is the dado that these legs are going to sit in. And then this is not my final measurement, but basically my shoulders, basically my shoulders are going to be, shoulders for the stretchers are going to be right at 25 inches. So I picked up all this wood from a lumber supply company here in town. So 32 9/16. It's going to be my final length. I'm just going to cut 33 here. So I need two stretchers that are 33 and then two stretchers that are 31. Just going to use a little dovetail saw here. And see. So one of the things I'm trying to do is keep my saw really square, working on my saw cuts. So I have very little finishing to do once I'm done with the saw cut. So this is just a learning process at this point. Alright, so this face is done. This is about 33. It's going to be one of my stretchers. I'm just going to sit this on here and get a marking straight off of this as my other stretchers. Hello. This has been a tough week and I've been really busy all week, so I didn't get a chance to do a lot of woodworking. So it's already Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Last time I was doing this, we cut these to shape. So now we have to prepare these. Can you see this rocking a little bit? This rocking is because there's a twist on the board. I don't have to see the twist to feel it. Going to add another clamp here because my board is kind of shifting around, so butt that up against there. Add a clamp here. Can't wait to get this bench finished so I can have all the stuff in my vise. But here we are. So I know this end is higher, so I'm going to plane this end a little further up, and I'm going to check with my plane right here. So if you can see, I'm going to place my plane here, look underneath, a bit of a belly in the middle. Haven't checked for grain rise quite yet. It's a bad piece of wood, so I'm going to have poor grain no matter which way I go on this one, so I'm not terribly worried about it right now. For belly, fairly straight. It's pretty good. Let's see what we got. Here's a quick test. My bench top is already fairly flat, so I'm just going to lay the plain surface on it, see what I get. And there was a lot of rock before and it's gone. So I would say this is got a little rock on it, but not so much. I'm going to give it a little more planing and go from there. I kept planing the sides till I got all the edges perpendicular to each other, all the edges flat. I side down these edges to make sure that there's no belly on them, and that is plenty. I did check the first face that I marked the face edge on. I checked this with winding sticks, but I did not check any other face with winding sticks, because if this is true, then I check with the square for this against this, and this should be true in relation. They have to be perpendicular. We went from a block that looked like a rough 2x4, and we put, you remember, it had a rock on it, and then we turned it into a finished stock ready for joinery. I will see you next week.